Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum, dear students, friends, and viewers. Today we are going to learn a very interesting term, and it is an addition to the lecture series of basic terminologies related to politics and international relations. What we are going to learn today is polyarchy. Polyarchy is a term that was introduced by American political scientist Robert Dahl, which means rule by many. Poly is a Greek word, which means many, and archy means rule. So, polyarchy means rule by many. It is not ruled by one, it is not ruled by few, rather, it is ruled by many. If you people remember the classification of governments that was explained by Greek political philosopher Aristotle, in which we classified and different forms of the government on the basis of two principles. Number one, number of rulers, and the number two, purpose to rule. And if we studied that if there is only one ruler, that system would be called monarchy. And if there would be few rulers, that system would be called aristocracy. And if there would be many rulers, that system would be called polity. So polyarchy is same as somehow is same as polity. So let's proceed to define this term polyarchy. It refers to a society where government outcomes, what are government outcomes? Government policies, government laws. So, such government outcomes are produced through a competition between groups, political parties, interest groups, political ruling parties, and political opposition parties. So, it means policies and laws are not the only products of the ruling political party. Rather, they are a joint effort of other groups, other political actors like interest groups and other political opposition parties. So we can say that polyarchy is a form of government that is suitable for pluralist democracies, pluralist societies, where there are multiple groups, where there are so many groups. These societies are not homogeneous in terms of ethnicity, in terms of religion, in terms of culture, rather, they are heterogeneous. And we can say that it is not ruled by majority, because if there would be rule by majority, it means minorities' rights would not be protected and they would feel deprived, they would feel marginalized. So, you can say that it is a form of government in which power is invested in multiple people, in multiple groups like political parties and interest groups. Actually, polyarchy is a process of democratization. It refers to the institutionalization of the democratic process of accountable government, and there are certain prerequisites for polyarchy, and accountable government is one among those prerequisites. For a polyarchy, government should be accountable. Accountable to whom? Accountable to its citizens. So, the establishment of a regime as a full fledged democracy is not possible unless these conditions are met, these institutions are established. So, Dahl pointed out, pointed out certain institutions which are necessary for the establishment of a regime as a full fledged democracy. Let's proceed to learn those institutions. Number one, universal suffrage, right to vote. Right to vote should be given to everyone only on the basis of age, only on the basis of well defined age that has been decided by government. So, a right to vote should be given to all the citizens of that state, and They should not be discriminated on the basis of race, religion, caste, color, wealth, and on other such uh, qualifications. Second is right to run for public office. The first right is political right to vote and right to run for political office, to contest elections. And number two, free and fairly conducted elections for all adults, the conduct of general elections at regular intervals, and those elections should be conducted transparently. They must be conducted free and fairly. What is the third requisite? Availability and observance of the right to free speech. Again, this is the political right. They should be given right to free speech, right to criticize government policies. Number four, the existence of and a free access to alternative information not controlled by government. It means information channels shouldn't be controlled by the government, rather, they should operate freely independently. Number four, the undisputed right to form and to join relatively autonomous organizations, in particular political parties and crucially parties in opposition. There should not be an act to ban the political activities and to ban the campaigns launched by different political parties. Next, institution responsiveness of government to voters. Government should behave responsibly to electorate, to voters' demands, to voters' wishes, to voters' aspirations. And last one is accountability of government to election outcomes and governments. So when these institutions would have been established, then a regime can be developed as a full fledged democracy. So we can say that polyarchy is a process of democratization of these institutions. In short, if we want to summarize this discussion about polyarchy, we can say that this set of institutions that has been postulated by Robert Dahl, taken together, distinguishes polyarchy from other regimes. The coming about for those institutions can then be seen as the process towards democratization. The enduring existence and the observance of the whole set is the hallmark of an established democracy. So, without having this democratization process, established democracy and democracy in its real essence, in its true meaning, cannot be developed unless the institutionalization process of all these institutions is completed. So that was all about the concept of polyarchy that was introduced by American political scientist Robert Dahl, and he argued that this form of government is suitable for pluralist democracies, and actually it is a process in which the stage for a full-fledged democracy uh, is established and is set and is achieved. In case of any confusion, please post your queries in the comment section. I will definitely answer. Thank you. Take care. Allah Hafiz.